Welcome back to the Protest Sport. That was your boy Tone. I'm back with another video. Man, if I get to an AGT to word of God for God's right now, God's open doors and pay way for all you wonderful people that you think pretty much today's video. Have another live stream. No, I'm sorry. I haven't been live lately. I do apologize about that. I will be going live more often as the off season gets along. Free agency starts tomorrow. The off season is definitely upon us as we are definitely in off season mode. This should be a very interesting off season that we're going into. A lot of things are happening at the moment, and hopefully, our commanders can do some things this off season to help improve our football team. Actually, let me close my door. Hold on, quick. Yeah, so hopefully our commanders can do some things to improve our team, but it's not what the live stream is about tonight specifically. What I'm going to talk about this evening is the different starting quarterbacks that are going into the 2020 preseason as starters, and the different tiers of quarterbacks that are in different tiers of quarterbacks that are starting going into the season. Going into the season. So these are guys that have been retained as starters. We're not going to talk rookies or any teams that don't have a starting quarterback at the moment that they trust. Any of those teams we'll just exclude them, and we'll come back to it after the draft, and we'll see where these rookies will be ranked at. I usually put my rookies in the not ranked section, just because I don't like ranking rookies because I don't know what they are yet. I don't know how they're going to be good, going to be in the league. We don't know. We're assuming they're going to be good, or assuming they're not going to be good. We don't know until those rookies actually play, and we see what they have as players. We see what they can do, what they can't do, what they do well, what they don't do well, things of that nature. But I want to go through the different tiers I have for you guys this evening, and what each one means. So tier 1 is legendary stats, the best of the best. These are the best quarterbacks in football in my eyes. These are the creme de la creme. These are the elite. These are tier 1. So that's tier 1. Tier 2, surefire franchise quarterbacks or borderline elite quarterbacks. These are the quarterbacks that are really, really good, but just can't crack that elite status yet, but they're so close that they can touch it. Next, tier 3, definitely starting material / solid starter. These are guys that are definitely starting quarterbacks in the league. They're just not franchise quarterbacks. They're more of a temporary solution at the quarterback position, but they're really good. They get the job done. They're just not great. So they're not as consistent as the guys in the first two tiers. Tier 4, stopgap quarterback says young developmental prospects. These are guys that are developing as young guys. They haven't hit their stride yet. And when these are guys that are older, they're definitely more like the bridge. The bridge term they use for quarterbacks were just our temporary solutions. Those are the guys that are in tier 4. Tier 5, low-end starters, really high-end backups. Why is this guy my starter? Tier 6 is not ranked. So any rookies would be in tier 6. I'm not putting any rookies in tier 5 or tier 4 or anything like that. But those guys will all be not ranked. So CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, Will Levis, Anthony Richardson, Herndon Hooker, Jaron Hill, all those guys will be in that not ranked section. If there are named starting quarterbacks for their teams week 1, they will not be in any tier beyond tier 6. We don't know what these guys are about. Let's start with tier 5. These are guys that were starters last year, but they currently are not on a team. So guys don't put in this section are Teddy Bridgewater, does like high-end backups, low-end starters at best. Taylor Heineke, that's a guy that would be in tier 5 for me as well. He's a low-end starter, very high-end backup. Jacoby Brissett is another guy you'll put on this in this tier as well. Jacoby Brissett is one of those other guys that are a very low-tier starter, but very high-end backup type of guy. Who else should you put in this section? What should you put in this section? Gardner Minshew, another guy that's a really high-end backup but low-end starter. That'll be pretty much about it when it comes to this section, to be honest. I don't really see anyone else in this section, to be honest. I think those are the guys that will be in that tier. Those 4 guys. Maybe if you want to add a guy like Colt McCoy, maybe, but he's like a certified backup. So I don't want to even do that to Colt McCoy, put him on this list. Baker Mayfield, maybe, but I think Baker's better than the other 4 guys I just named. So, no. So those might be the 4 guys on that tier. Will be Taylor Heineke, Gardner Minshew, Jacoby Brissett, and who else I just named just now. Yeah, Gardner Minshew, Taylor Heineke, Jacoby Brissett, and Teddy Bridgewater. Those are the guys who would be on that list. Next would be the tier 5. So those are super low-end starters. The tier 5 guys, super low-end starters for really high-end backups. Tier 4, young stopgap quarterbacks / young developmental prospects. I'll start with Jordan Love here. Jordan Love is definitely like a young quarterback that's definitely developing into something. He'll finally get his chance to start this year over Aaron Rodgers, as Aaron Rodgers is moving on to another team or retiring. We don't know, but he's going to get $60 million, bro. He's going to play for somebody, and that's somebody going to probably be the New York Jets. But that's not here nor there. We're not doing predictions here. We're going to talk about these guys where they're ranked at. So Jordan Love starts this tier for me. Young developmental guy who's really trying to learn things of that nature. Actually, he's the second guy. The first guy is Sam Howell. Sam Howell is the bottom of this tier. Right? He's the bottom of this tier. So he's a young development guy. Played 1 game last year. Did some good things in that 1 game versus Dallas. We saw some things in training camp and preseason we liked a lot. He's a guy that definitely has a lot of tools that you can mold into a quarterback that could be really good. But he also is kind of undersized and also has some flaws to his game he needs to work on. But he's a guy that definitely could develop to be a solid starting quarterback in the National Football League. I like him a lot. Next is Jordan Love. Same thing I'm saying about Howell, but he's a little bigger, and he can do a little bit more things with his legs than Howell can do. But he's a very interesting guy. I want to see what Jordan Love looks like this year. The little flash we saw of Jordan Love had not been bad over the last year or so. The flash we saw in 2021 weren't good. But the stuff we saw in 2022, some was Aaron Rodgers-esque in a way. So that's going to be interesting to see how he continues to develop as a starter and continues to mature. So I'm very interested in those two a lot. Next, this is definitely a stopgap guy. It's definitely not a young developmental dude here. But the next guy on this list is the fall from grace. Yeah, I'm going to put him next. Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is a stopgap quarterback at best at this point. I do think Carson is still a starter in this league, but it's hanging by a thread. It's hanging by a thread. He's definitely a bridge at best. He's no longer a guy you can build your team around. Those days are done. He's definitely a bridge guy and someone you just plug in for a year while your young quarterback is sitting and learning. He's that guy now. That's what he is. That's it. That's what he is. The next guy on this tier that I am very, very, very interested in continuing to see how he looks, Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy. I want to put him on this list because he doesn't have a ton of experience. He looked really good last year. He looked really, 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 really good last year. He looked extremely solid, and I like what he brought to the table. Actually, before Brock Purdy, someone that I can put behind him. And that guy's Desmond Ridder. So let me rephrase. Sorry. The next guy on this list is Desmond Ridder. Desmond Ridder did some good things in his 4 starts last year. I think he's young and developing. And he's someone that I think with better weapons around him, getting Kyle Pitts back. Tyler Algier ran 4,000 yards last year. Adding another guy like the Edwards kid they traded for from the Vegas Raiders. I think he'll help next year. Drake London should take another step forward. Also, Cordell Patterson is still there. Adding a couple more weapons to that offense would definitely help out a lot. Zacchaeus is okay. He's cool, but add someone else as well that can help this team take that next step forward as an offense And as Arthur Smith helps Ritter develop, I think Ritter will continue to get better and better and better. And I see a ton of potential in Desmond Ritter. Now we get to Brock Purdy. He did a lot of good things last year. He led his team to the NFC Championship game, bro. Like, that's crazy. Mr. Irrelevant goes to the NFC Championship game. Unfortunately, gets hurt. But the only I got Brock Purdy on this list, he ends this tier. He's at the top of this tier, is because we haven't seen a lot of him. Just like Ritter. So I got Ritter here too. Not seeing a lot of this guy. So I want to see how he recovers from his UCL surgery. And we'll see how he looks next year. I'm extremely intrigued, though. He has my intrigue. He has my interest. And he's definitely a guy I would definitely be keeping my keen eyes on as he continues to develop. And the balancing him and Trey Lance is going to be extremely, extremely, extremely interesting. I don't have Trey Lance on this list only because he didn't play a lot last year. So he's not on this list at all. He played more with Sam Howell, but unfortunately, injuries have definitely plagued Trey Lance's career. So I'm just leaving him off this list completely as of right now. But if I were to put him in a slot, I'll put him next to Brock Purdy as they're going to fight for a starting job this year. And that's how I think it's going to go. Next tier here. So I had Howell, Ritter, Purdy, Wentz, and it was someone else I had in this tier. Is that it? I think that's about it. So this is probably the biggest tier on the list. It's probably about 12 guys in this list, just because there's a lot of just decent starting quarterbacks in the league now. These guys are just definitely starting material, but it's not quite franchise quarterbacks. And these are guys that are kind of either declining because of age, or they're just solid. They've been solid their whole career. So number one on this list, to me, is Tua Tagovailoa. He had a really good year last year. The only I have him so low on this list because of injuries. The injuries have definitely plagued him. The concussions, they're kind of scary. I don't know how his career is going to continue to progress, but hopefully he does stay healthy. If he does, he skyrockets on this list. He played extremely well last year for the Dolphins. At one point, was an MVP candidate. He's really, really good. I like Tua, and I think Tua is very, very. I'm not saying these guys are better than him. They're just more durable. That's why I have Tua so low on this tier. But next, I have another guy who I think he's taking a huge step back due to injuries. And I don't know how he's going to look now. That guy's Matthew Stafford. No, should I put Stafford here, actually? No. Nah. Jimmy Garoppolo's next. That's the guy I was thinking about, Jimmy Garoppolo. He's definitely a starting quarterback in this league, though. Jimmy's definitely a starter. He probably won't be able to start because the teams are interested in him, but he's definitely a starting quarterback. He's more of a game manager, which is nothing wrong with that, actually. He doesn't elevate the players around him. That's my only thing with Jimmy. But solid game manager. You know what you're getting. You're getting a solid starting quarterback. You're not getting nothing more, nothing less. He's not trash, but he's not great either. He's slightly above average at best. That's not bad. That's cool. Most teams these days are taking slightly above average quarterback play in this day and age. So that's completely fine. The next guy on this list for me, I would say this dude is average. Nah, I should have put him in the other tier. But if you want to go out to the other tier, put Davis Mills in the other tier. I don't think he's going to be a starter anymore much longer, but right now he's currently a starting quarterback. So you can put him in that next list, in the tier before this one. Next guy in this tier for me, he took a huge step back this year. This guy took a huge step back. He led the league in turnovers, and that's Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, I think he's still solid, but he definitely is no longer a top 10 quarterback. I don't know what the heck I was thinking, put him in the top 10 last couple years, but no. That bull crap he put up there last year was not it. Leading league in picks, anyone, unlike Matthew Stafford, he won a Super Bowl. And he threw 40 touchdown passes. Dak did not do neither one of those. So, huge down year for Dak. Hope he does bounce back. Because I think Dak is still pretty decent, but it's definitely a shame that he's definitely taking a huge step back like this. And it's definitely very, very pitiful. Next guy on this list is a guy in the NFC East. And that guy is Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones had a really solid year last year under Brian Daboll. The second best year he's ever had in his career, outside of his rookie season with Pat Shurmur. He did a lot of solid things last year. But my thing with Daniel Jones, like I said, he's not a guy that elevates his teammates around him. He needs good teammates around him to succeed. But he would do enough to win ball games without those legit playmakers around him. He'll do enough to win ball games, things of that nature. And so once in a while, he'll elevate the teams around him once in a blue moon, but it's not consistent. That's why I don't have him any higher on this list. Next guy will be another. No. I'm not. He's a little higher on my list now than at first. I would go to the NFC South, actually. This is a guy that just got into the NFC South, and that guy's Derek Carr. Derek Carr is a really solid starting quarterback in the National Football League. He's definitely good, but he's not great. He did take a huge step back last year with all the turnovers and not playing well, the inconsistent play, things of that nature. But when Derek Carr is on, he can sling with the best of them. And when he's off, it's bad. It's bad. But I think it's a great fit with New Orleans. Got Kamara for now. Got Olave. I think they're going to add some more weapons in free agency and in the draft to surround Derek Carr with more guys. I like Marquez Callaway. I like Deontay Harris. I love Olave. I love Jawan Johnson, their tight end. They just extended as well. Can't guard Mike. He's done. I wish he would just retire. I'm tired of Michael Thomas being in the league. He gets on my nerves. He sucks or whatever. So that's kind of that. But yeah, Derek Carr's solid. He's definitely a solid guy. I like Derek Carr. The next guy that I'm talking about here is Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray. He's come off an injury, though. So this is another reason why he's in the solid starting list and not the best of the best or the second best of the best. He's in the solid guy. He's a little inconsistent at times. He doesn't end seasons well. As somebody knows about Kyler, the last few years he's even gotten hurt and has been hindered with the injury. Was season ending last year with the ACL tear. Or if it's not season ending or it hinders him, he just doesn't play well. And that hurts because you can't finish seasons well. You're not going to go nowhere in this league. Like that is what it is. You're just not going to go nowhere in this league. And that's how it goes. Next guy's Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is another solid starting quarterback in this league. He just doesn't have the clutch gene in the playoffs. He has one playoff win, unfortunately. He did not play well towards the end of that game in the Giants game. He threw a check down on 4th and 8. You can't do that, Kirk. You just can't do that. That's a no. You just don't do that, Kirk. Come on, Mr. Cousins. You can't do that. You just can't do that at all. No, Sirski. No. You're dead wrong for that. No, Kirk. Bad, Kirk. Bad. Oh, bad, Kirk. God darn it, Kirk. But whatever. He's just solid. He's solid. He's a guy that can get it done. And this is not any type of order at this point, honestly speaking. The next guy is Jared Goff. He's another solid starting quarterback in the league as well. Jared Goff did a ton of good things last year. He's starting to kind of elevate the teammates around him a little bit more. I like the offense that surrounds him. I like DJ Chark. I hope they actually can retain him. I love Amon-Ra St. Brown when healthy. DeAndre Swift is good when healthy. They did trade TJ Hawkinson away, but that's completely fine. They have Khalif Raymond was solid for them last year as well. Jameson Williams is a huge weapon for them going into this offseason. He's actually healthy this offseason and actually ready to go. That will help out a ton as well. I like the weapons that surround Jared Goff in Detroit. So I like what they're bringing to the table, and I think that Jared Goff is someone that's going to continue to be a solid starting quarterback for a while. I don't think Jared is even close to trash. I think he's actually solid. And my last guy on this list, I think there are a solid, really solid guy. It might be a second to last guy. I may have one more guy that's actually solid that could get back to where he used to be. But yeah, Justin Fields. I know the statistics don't say he's solid, but the fact that his dual threat is such a dangerous tool puts him in an advantageous position a lot. He has to improve as a passer though. And so I do want to see him take the next step. He just did acquire DJ Moore. So acquiring a guy like DJ Moore really helps you out a lot. Tried to add a guy in the tier 5 list. Or the tier 5. That guy is Sam Darnold. So put him in that tier 5 list for me, by the way. But yeah, back to Justin Fields. So Justin Fields with the dual threat ability is great. Also, the fact that he has a number one receiver now, DJ Moore. It kind of elevates him a little bit more to me. And having a healthy Darnell Mooney for 17 games will help as well. And having a healthy Chase Claypool. That would definitely help out a lot. And hopefully they retain David Montgomery. If they don't, they love Khalil Herbert. So they have weapons around Justin to continue to grow. And Cole Kmet's actually a solid tight end as well. So they have the weapons. It just he has to step up as a passer. And I think this year he will. And my final solid starter is Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson's a very interesting case here. He didn't play well last year in particular, but you saw a flash every now and then. And I think with another offseason and him not having the suspension looming upon his head anymore, I think he'll lock in and really get back to the old Deshaun Watson we all knew. We all liked as a football player. I know people are not a fan of him off the field. I get it. Those kind of allegations do kind of hurt your reputation a lot. It hurts your public image. So I get it. But when Deshaun is Deshaun, he's one hell of a football player, man. And I expect to see that this year. We didn't see it last year. So that's why I kind of have to put him in a solid starter category. But he's still solid. At bare minimum, he's a solid starting quarterback at bare minimum. So those are all the solid starting guys. And these are surefire franchise quarterbacks. We don't know how long these guys will be surefire franchise quarterbacks, but they're surefire. Number one to me is Matthew Stafford. It's the first guy on this list. When Matthew Stafford's healthy, he's a surefire franchise guy. We know what Matthew Stafford is. I love me some Matthew Stafford. He's a hell of a football player, hell of a quarterback. Dude can sling it. He can't really run as much as he used to anymore, but that's fine. Dude will dice you up from the pocket. And as long as you give him an offensive line that can protect him, he will dice you up because he is still a really, really good starting quarterback and definitely a franchise QB in this National Football League. Next guy on the list. And this guy was an MVP candidate, but I have to see more. Have to see him do it again. Jalen Hurts. Now, don't get it twisted. There's not a lot of guys on the surefire franchise quarterback list. It's because these two are guys that are fighting for elite spots. I just can't put them in elite spots right now. I just can't do it at the moment. But these guys are definitely really, really good. Both of these guys definitely deserves their kudos, and they're both really good. They're both really good starting quarterbacks. If you want to put another guy in the solid starting list, by the way, you can put Geno Smith in that list as well for solid starters. I did forget about Geno. I'm sorry. I don't know why I didn't say that, but Geno being tier 3, by the way. Geno being tier 3. I want to kind of state that as well. And so I'm another guy be thrown in tier 3 as well that I can't think of the top of my head. I'm trying to figure the AFC East quarterbacks. Matt Jones being tier 3 as well. Matt Jones will also be in tier 3 as well. Solid starting quarterback. But just he has to kind of continue to progress as a passer a little bit more. But yeah, He's decent. He's not great, but he's decent. So those guys would be in tier 3, by the way. I kind of want to state that as well. But yeah, Stafford, Hurts are definitely in tier 2 for me. Stafford can still sling it with the best of them, and Hurts had a great season last year. The fact that dude didn't have more than 5 turnovers in a season is insanity. That's crazy in its own self, in its own right. That's insane. I wish I could put in tier 2. Those guys are tier 1 in the AFC West. I'm thinking of the AFC North. He's tier 1. He's tier 1. Thinking about the AFC East, the last guy in that division is tier 1. NFC West, I went through all those quarterbacks: Stafford, Kyler, Jimmy / Brock Purdy, and Geno. I went through the NFC East with Howe, Dak, Daniel Jones, and Jalen Hurts. I went through the NFC North with Goff. Oh, we know that guy that's still in Green Bay for now. He's a tier 1 quarterback as well. We'll have to state that. What's going to tackle the division? Fields, I talk about Fields, and Kirk. So I talked about those guys already. And the NFC South, most of the guys only have starting quarterbacks. I guess one said Sam Darnold's in tier 5. And Derek Carr's in tier 3, and the other two teams don't have starting quarterbacks. So that's kind of. Oh, I talk about Ritter. As well. So I went to in the Bucks. I don't know who the hell their starting quarterback is. I don't really care. So I went through pretty much the entire league. Let's get to tier 1. Because those two guys are in tier 2. That's fine. If you want to, Trevor Lawrence is the last guy in tier 2. Trevor Lawrence is pretty darn good. So we can put him in tier 2. Now, the tier 1. These are the best guys in the league. These are the creme de la creme. These are the guys. These are them. They are them. These are the guys. These are the guys. These are the guys right here that are the best of the best. No in particular order. The first one is Aaron Rodgers. We know Aaron Rodgers is. He's still elite. Dude can sling with the best of them. Didn't have any receivers last year, but still fought, still clawed. Got this team to an 8-9 record through all the crap they've been through. Losing Devontae Adams. Defensive players coming in out the lineup. All types of crap. But this dude still had this team competitive almost every week. And him on a win streak at one point just couldn't finish the job versus Detroit and couldn't get into the playoffs. Next guy, Justin Herbert. Dude is him. Dude, Jay Herbo, man. He's still Jay Herbo to me, man. I know I'm going by Jay Herbo. Now, I ain't going to hold you. Shorty can be blowing 27-point leads, bro. That's a no-no, man. You can't do that no more, bro. That really pissed me off, bro. You can't be doing that, bro. But I know you him for real, though. I know you still him. I believe in you. I remember that game. You got your ribs crashed in. I know you broke a rib. You got up. Man, first bro was DeAndre Carter. 30-yarder. Next thing you know, touchdown Josh Palmer. And outside them two big boys, that offense ain't a bunch of dynamic weapons. Like, I like Gerald Everett. I think he's cool. I love Austin Eckler. He's a dog. But it's not a lot of dogs outside them two big boys in Allen and Williams. They need to add another dog in there, man. I ain't going to hold you. I like DeAndre Carter, though. I think I'm on a 1-year deal, so I don't know if they're going to retain him or not, but that's another guy that you might want to retain and then add another guy to that will help you continue to progress your weaponry in Los Angeles with the Chargers. Los Angeles Superchargers. But yeah, Jay Herbo. Next. Lamar, man. Lamar's still him, man. Put some respect on Lamar's name, man. He's still him for real. He's still him. Shawty is still him. He's got to stay healthy. That's something I'm starting to worry about a little bit now. Lamar getting a little dinked up, little dings and dunks, little dinks and little chinks in the armor. I need him to stay healthy. But Lamar's still a problem. The boy could run. The boy could bro. He could do everything. He can do anything and everything you ask him to do because he is a problem. A mother effing problem. So that's fact. Next guy on this list. Actually, last two guys on this list. Last three guys. Josh Allen. He has to fix those turnovers, though. That's something he has to work on, but we see the talent. We know it's there. Josh Allen is incredible. Kid, the young man can run like the best of him. He can throw the best of him. Dude can go on shootouts with Mahomes. He can go on shootouts with Herbert. He can go on shootouts with Lamar. He can go on shootouts with Hurts. All these guys, he can go on a shootout with Burrow, all of them. Because he really him for real. You know what I'm saying? He did shrink in that playoff game, though. I was very disappointed in Josh Allen. A ton. Very disappointed in that young man. He could play a lot better, but it is what it is. I hope he takes that experience and learns from it and plays better in the next postseason. Because they'll be in the postseason next year. Like, let's stop the cap. Like, Buffalo going to be in the postseason next year. Let's stop that. Burrow. Shawty is him. Your problem. I just wished that AFC Championship game went a little better for him. But he's still him, though. He's still a problem. Dude still has 3 1,000-yard receivers on his team. And only got them 3 dudes, and he's still him, he's going to be a problem. So I love Joe Burrow. He's probably one of my favorite quarterbacks in football. They're one of my top 4 favorite guys in the league to watch. I love me some Burrow. Y'all know who number 1 is. Y'all know who number 1 is. Y'all know. You know, I know, the whole world knows. Patrick Mahomes II. That man is him. He really him for real. You saw that game-winning drive in the Super Bowl? You saw he was grimacing in pain and went to score 4 straight drives in the second half. Spanked them boys. Did them in. 24-point second half. 10-point deficit at halftime. Erased it. Like that. Because he really him for it. And went up by 8 at one point. Shot at Jalen Hurts. Went right down the field, tied that game up. But Mahomes, he's the best of the best. I want to tell you. He's the best quarterback in football. Remember that. He's the best in football. So, those are my tiers of starting quarterbacks. I left a lot of teams out. A lot of teams do not have a solidified starter at the moment. So I wanted to go ahead and give you guys the starters that are solidified, that are going to be starters going into this season. Comment your thoughts. Let me know if you guys think. Do you disagree with a tier I put a certain quarterback in? Do you think I put wasn't not enough tier 2 guys that got too many tier 1 guys, where too many tier 3 dudes, where there's too little in tier 4, tier 5? What are your thoughts on me putting all the rookies in tier 6 and not getting a ranking? What are your thoughts in the comment section? Please comment down below your thoughts so we can have an open discussion before we get out of here. If I don't see a comment in about 2 or 3 minutes, I'll probably go wrap up the stream, but I want to go ahead and get some of you guys' comments and thoughts. I've seen people stop by but not comment. So please comment your thoughts. And let me know what you guys think. So I'm intrigued what you guys are thinking right now and your thoughts. Please comment down below in the comment section down below, and I'll answer all your comments as time goes along. Like I said, I made some edits during the video. I did put guys like Geno Smith in tier 3. I like Geno in tier 3. I think that's fair. Geno's a really solid starting quarterback. He was a really solid starting quarterback last year. Did he get a little slight overpay? Yeah, I think it was a slight overpay, but he played well enough to deserve the contract. I know Jarris, shout out to Jarris from Jarris' Corner, does not agree with said contract, but I understand why he got it. I think it was worthy. I think it was fair, and it was definitely something that I am Not going to bat an eye at, but at the same token, I'm not going to condemn the Seahawks for doing. He definitely played well last year and definitely was worth it. Also, that's another guy, Jared Goff. Really saw started quarterback in the league. Like Jared Goff now a lot more than I did toward the end of his Los Angeles tenure and the beginning of his Detroit tenure. Another guy, I said Stafford's tier 2. I know that might be a little high for a lot of people, but people forget how good Matthew Stafford is when healthy. He's a darn good quarterback. And when he was protected in Los Angeles in 2021, yes, he led the league in picks, understandably so, but also he won a Super Bowl. So that's kind of that. I know people were like, oh, Carson Wentz not going to start quarterback in the league anymore. I think, like I said, I have him in tier 5. Or tier 5? Yeah, I have him in tier 5 or even low tier 4. I think dude's definitely on the bread when it comes to being a starting quarterback. I had Taylor Heineke in tier 5. I think that's solid. He's definitely a really low-end starter, but a very high-end backup. Same with Gardner Minshew. Same with Teddy Bridgewater, guys like that. Very low-end starting quarterbacks, but really high-end backups if you had to come in and play. I said Jimmy Garoppolo's in tier 3. I didn't put Zach Wilson on this list because Zach Wilson's been horrible. Mike White, I think he's probably in tier 5. You wanted me to put him in a tier. Who else? Cooper Rush, probably in tier 5 as well if I want to put him in a tier, but he's more of a certified backup quarterback in the league, so I think put him in a tier. I say Daniel Jones in tier 3. That's pretty fair, right? Tier 3 is pretty fair for a guy like Daniel Jones. I'm starting for the league now, so I can continue to give you guys more opinions on other guys. I put Kirk in tier 3 as well, and that was fair. I put most of the NFC North in tier 3. Justin Fields, Kirk Cousins, and Jared Goff. The only guy I didn't put in tier 3 was Aaron Rodgers, obviously. I didn't put any quarterback for the Bucs in there because Brady retired. So I don't know who's their starting quarterback. And Panthers, I had Sam Darnold in tier 5. I had Ritter in tier 3. Tier 4, actually tier 4. I like Ritter a lot as a gun development prospect. And I had Derek Carr in tier 3. So, yeah. I think that's going to do it for me. I think I explained almost all the quarterbacks that kind of were in question. I didn't see any comments yet. So I'm going to wrap up the stream now. I appreciate you guys that did pull up tonight, pulling up. I very appreciate y'all. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate all you guys' support. I'm very thankful and very grateful and very, 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 very humbled to be on this platform with you guys, talk about football, things of that nature. I'm gonna try to go live tomorrow. Might have a special for y'all tomorrow. I might be bringing back a certain segment that we kind of cut off with a couple of nice, beautiful guests that we had on the channel before. So, wink, wink, hint, hint. So we might be doing a free agency show tomorrow, grading each of these free agency signings, kind of how the Go House do it. Shout out to the Go House. Shout out to Riz. He's a very fun creator to watch. But also, go follow my guys that are on the daily on Instagram. Subscribe to all my bros down in the description down below. Guys, have a great one. Comment your thoughts on this live stream in the playback on the comment down below. Y'all guys have a great evening. I'll catch you guys later. Peace and bless to all y'all. Have a good night. Until next time. Peace.